You're dealing with weak erections and you don't understand why? Let me tell you something nobody talks about. The problem might not be where you think it is. In fact, your body is trying to warn you about something much more serious happening internally, and you're completely ignoring the signs. Most men think erectile dysfunction is just part of aging. That it's normal to lose potency after 40, 50 years old. But that's a dangerous lie that could be putting your life at risk right this moment. Because when you can't get a firm erection, the real problem might be in your heart, in your arteries, in your entire cardiovascular system. Think about it. An erection happens when blood flows rapidly into the penis and fills the erectile tissue. It's a purely hydraulic event. Your heart pumps, your arteries dilate, blood rushes in, and everything works. But what happens when those tiny blood vessels start getting clogged? What happens when plaque begins building up inside them? They're the smallest vessels in your entire body, so they're the first ones to show symptoms when something goes wrong. This is the part that terrifies doctors, but they don't always communicate it clearly enough. Erectile dysfunction can be the first warning sign of a heart attack waiting to happen. The same blockages forming in your penis are forming in your heart. Your body is literally screaming at you that your cardiovascular system is failing, and most guys just think, "Oh, I'm getting older, this is normal." It's not normal. It's never normal. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Let's say you do have some physical blockage happening, some cardiovascular issue developing. You go to the doctor, they prescribe you one of those little blue pills, and suddenly you can perform again. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. Because that pill didn't clear your arteries. It didn't remove the plaque. It didn't fix your heart. It just temporarily forced more blood flow to one specific area. Meanwhile, the underlying disease keeps progressing silently. I'm not saying those medications don't have their place. For some men, they're genuinely helpful. But treating them as the solution instead of a temporary band-aid is missing the entire point. It's like having a check engine light come on in your car and just putting a piece of tape over it so you don't have to see it anymore. The engine is still broken. The tape just made you feel better. Now let's talk about something even more insidious. The psychological trap. Because once you experience erectile dysfunction even one time, your brain creates this association. Sex equals failure. Intimacy equals embarrassment. And the next time you're in that situation, your anxiety skyrockets. Your nervous system goes into panic mode. And when you're in fight or flight, your body shuts down everything that isn't essential for survival. Reproduction is not essential when you think you're about to die. So now you've got this feedback loop. You failed once, so you're anxious about failing again. That anxiety makes you fail. Which makes you more anxious. Which makes you fail again. It becomes this self-perpetuating nightmare that has nothing to do with your physical health anymore. Your body could be perfectly capable, but your mind won't let it happen. And society makes this so much worse. Men are told their entire lives that sexual performance defines their masculinity. That if you can't perform, you're somehow less of a man. So when it happens, the shame is overwhelming. You can't talk to your friends about it. You can't be vulnerable with your partner. You suffer in complete isolation, convinced you're the only one going through this. But you're not alone. Not even close. Research shows that over half of men between 40 and 70 experience some degree of erectile dysfunction. Over half. And among younger men, the numbers are climbing rapidly. Guys in their 20s and 30s who should be in their absolute prime are struggling. The reasons are different for younger men, usually stress and psychological factors rather than physical disease, but the impact is identical. Here's what's happening with younger guys. Modern life is destroying their sexual function. Chronic stress from work, from finances, from social media comparison, from constant digital stimulation. Their cortisol levels are through the roof all the time. Their sleep is garbage. They're eating processed food that's destroying their hormonal balance. They're sitting all day, not exercising, gaining weight. And then they wonder why their body isn't working properly. There's also the pornography factor, and this is controversial but it needs to be said. Studies have found that excessive consumption of adult content actually changes brain chemistry. It conditions men to need increasingly intense visual stimulation to become aroused. Then when they're with a real partner in a real situation, their brain doesn't respond the same way. The natural stimulation isn't enough anymore. They've literally rewired their reward pathways. The good news? This is reversible. The brain has incredible plasticity. When men stop consuming that content for several months, their natural arousal patterns return. But it requires acknowledgement and discipline. Most guys won't even admit this could be a factor because it requires facing an uncomfortable truth about their habits. Let's get into solutions because that's what actually matters. If your erectile dysfunction is physically caused, you need to address the root problem. That means cardiovascular health becomes your top priority. You need to know your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, your blood sugar. If any of those are elevated, you're looking at vascular damage that's affecting everything, not just your sex life. Weight loss alone can be transformative. One major study found that men who lost just 10% of their body weight saw dramatic improvements in erectile function. 10%. For a 200-pound man, that's 20 pounds. That's completely achievable. And when you lose that weight through proper nutrition and exercise, you're not just improving blood flow. You're reducing inflammation, balancing hormones, lowering stress hormones, increasing testosterone naturally. Exercise is non-negotiable. Cardiovascular exercise improves your entire vascular system. Your heart gets stronger, your vessels get cleaner, blood flows better everywhere. But don't sleep on resistance training. Building muscle mass has a direct impact on testosterone production. More muscle equals better hormonal balance equals better sexual function. It's all connected. Diet matters more than most people realize. Processed foods, excessive sugar, unhealthy fats, they all contribute to inflammation and vascular damage. Meanwhile, foods rich in nitrates like leafy greens help produce nitric oxide, which dilates blood vessels. Foods high in antioxidants reduce oxidative stress. Healthy fats support hormone production. Your diet is either helping your sexual function or destroying it. There's no neutral ground. If the issue is psychological, therapy is incredibly effective. Cognitive behavioral therapy specifically has strong research backing for performance anxiety. Sometimes just understanding that what you're experiencing is normal and common is enough to break the cycle. A good therapist can help you reframe your thoughts, reduce anxiety, and rebuild confidence. Sleep is absolutely critical and hardly anyone talks about it. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your testosterone production plummets. Your stress hormones spike. Your body can't recover properly. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep isn't optional if you want optimal sexual function. It's mandatory. There are natural supplements with legitimate scientific backing. L-citrulline converts to L-arginine in your body, which produces nitric oxide for better blood flow. Panax ginseng has multiple clinical studies showing effectiveness for erectile dysfunction. Zinc is essential for testosterone production, and many men are deficient. These aren't magic bullets, but combined with lifestyle changes, they can make a real difference. Now, I've created something comprehensive that goes way deeper than what we can cover in one video. In the description below, you'll find a complete guide with specific protocols, research-backed supplement recommendations, and actionable steps you can implement immediately. This isn't about quick fixes or miracle cures. It's about understanding what's really happening in your body and giving it what it needs to function properly again. Check the link below and take control of this situation today. The bottom line is this: erectile dysfunction is not your destiny. It's not something you just have to accept and live with. Whether it's physical or psychological, there are proven solutions that work. But those solutions require honesty, action, and commitment. You have to be willing to look at your lifestyle, identify what's not working, and make real changes. Those changes might feel difficult initially, but they're absolutely worth it. Because this isn't just about sex. It's about your health, your confidence, your relationships, your entire quality of life. When you fix this problem properly, everything improves. You feel better, you look better, you perform better in every area. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of taking action.